This episode of Plasticon Reviews is brought to you by DarkDominion.com. Check them out for all your 3D printing needs. Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover something very special. I'm actually going to be doing a full unboxing of this because I have never touched this mold ever. You guys know the Studio Series 86 Megatron turns into a tank. I know some people are not the biggest fan of that. I personally like the idea because I've always liked the idea that he was a tank. I am Tank Megatron. Yes, I know he turns into a pew-pew in the 86 movie, I get that, but I have never handled this mold. This is going to be a series that I'm going to be doing of several of these guys that I haven't ever touched. I've never tried newer stuff. You guys know me, I like the older stuff and I like smaller stuff, but I got a good friend of mine that's allowing me to be able to do some hand feel and check these out, unbox them, tell you guys exactly what I think, and you guys can base your own opinions on that. I know you guys have got a lot of people out there who's already reviewed these toys. That's fine. I don't care. This is my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. But without any further ado, I'm going to bring out my nice little X-Acto knife here so that way I can cut the tapes on them and actually check them out and see them firsthand. More than likely, this guy, I believe, opens from the top. First off, let's go ahead and look at the packaging here. I have never really been the biggest fan of how they do packaging now, because this one line silliness here, you know, mount up a surprise on Autobot City with, you know, Megatron and the Decepticons. Well, that's barely even a story. That tells you nothing about the character. It tells you nothing, really. I understand they had to put all this legal jargon because this is more of a universal box now that they do worldwide. That's fine. The Japanese one will have kanji instead. I'm sure the Chinese one has probably some different stuff. But, I mean, this is kind of funny, this authentic thing here. I mean, whatever happened to just throwing a rub sign on? That would have been cooler. Obviously, it's got all the jargon here on the bottom. Recycle the box. Artwork is kind of cool. I don't mind how they've done the artwork, although I personally would wish they would just throw a poster in here of the artwork, because not everybody keeps boxes, I know that. I think the boxes are nice. They're pretty cool. This in here is a little scuffed up because, you know, he got this in here off the shelf. Everything here I'm actually going to be reviewing more or less came from retail stores instead of, like, coming through BBTS. A few of them have, but not all of them. This one here is an exception. This was actually found at local Walmart, so not sponsored, none of that. But my buddy from Dark Dominion is hooking me up with some stuff here for you guys to check out, and it does have the nice Takara right here on the side. I do like the fact it has that along with the Hasbro, so I do like the cross thing. I really kind of wish they could have just went retro style with the boxes and made them more, I don't know. The Studio Series is just really just turned into 86, and I'm like, I think it's silly. Just get rid of Studio Series. Just put this as 1986 Megatron or something. I don't know. That's my opinion on the boxes. I know I'm waffling about a box, but that's okay, because packaging is part of the presentation for me with hand feel. Also, I like the idea when they went back to windows. Window boxes, yes. Stick with this. You guys don't want to do full bubbles, just do a window. Cardboard's actually really good, though. It's not, you know, it doesn't feel cheap. But I'm going to stop talking about a box, and we're going to open this thing up. I'm trying to figure out where the tape is on this one. Top here. So, I'm going to gently cut this tape open. And for the record, like I said, I mean, I've had Megatron in probably every iteration ever. And, I mean, I actually never really owned the Beast Wars ones, but that's okay, because the Beast Wars ones I've actually gotten chances to play with. They're cool. But when it comes to Megatron being Megatron, he's had to change forms billions of times because, face it, people are people, and you can't always get exactly what you want all the time. Him being a tank, though, I'm kind of excited to see this, because this is probably what Megatron should have been in the first place. I know a lot of people want to argue about what Megatron would have been. If you guys know anything about Diaclone, there was a version of a starship that was going to come out, and this is kind of crazy. I'm just opening it up, and it's already kind of messed up here on the corner. Like the packaging got kind of janked. I'll try to fix that. Anyway, yeah, the original Megatron idea was to make him a space jet. Alright, I'm going out of the box. Set that to the side. Your legal jargon thingy, it comes with that. Instruction manual. And it is fairly lengthy. Looks like it'd got 54 steps. This is basically a mini masterpiece. That's what I'm looking at here. Crazy. Got our burrito. It's just funny. Why is this Autobot? Somebody explained this to me. Did they only just do Autobot paper? That's hilarious. And then you've got his fusion cannon here, which looks like it's just, you know, everything here is done with, and this is funny, these are plastic. I missed when they did just the paper ones. I don't understand why they're using plastic for these, because they're trying to be eco-friendly. Go back to the paper ones. There's nothing wrong with the paper ties. I don't get that. Anyway. Shouldn't put away the X-Acto knife because I'm going to need it for clipping this stuff. Anyway, Megatron. Back in the Diaclone days, he was going to be, they had a jet that was called the Diattacker. And that was one of the iterations they were thinking of using for Megatron. I personally think it would have been cool if he was a jet. A big space jet would have made better sense. I mean, he was a space jet in the Michael Bay movies. He had been a jet in other previous iterations. Let's see here. Can I just cut the... maybe not. Got a billion of these little ties here holding them, which is fine. I don't mind the idea that it's got ties here. You guys probably can't see what I'm doing here. Let's see. But yeah, he was gonna... The Diattacker was actually a version of... it's basically a space jet that held a bunch of figures and turned into a gigantic robot, which was cool. He kind of... and also kind of had like a battle station style thing. If you guys go back in my reviews, I actually never did get around to actually reviewing the battle station side of it, but I did review the Diattacker a long time ago. By the way, this actually feels pretty good in the hand. Just kind of just getting him out of the box. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I'm definitely a fan of just different iterations of characters. I don't like every character to always be the same. Like, with me, Optimus Prime has been, like, different iterations, like, a billion times, like, different things. I mean, even in Generation 2, Optimus Prime was a car. So was Megatron. He was a car in the GoBots line. I considered those D16 and Orion packs, in my eyes, in my Generation 2 head cannon thing. Yeah, I think they're not bad toys. There was nothing wrong with them being changed over to something like that. And I know some people don't like the idea that Megatron was this big green tank in Generation 2. Well, G2 was about extreme. It was about ditching the whole robots in disguise thing and just being a, I don't know, just doing what robots do. They hid in plain sight. That's why Optimus Prime had that slapped on the side of his trailer that he was Optimus Prime. At that point, everybody knew who he was. So what's the point in hiding so much? Although some people like the Laser Prime, so I get that. Because it's, you know, a completely different iteration. Opening up the bag of goodies we got here. This consists of, looks like a part of the barrel. There's a tiny little gun here. This is a miniature version of himself, which is kind of funny. And then we got a sword, which is the laser sword thing he's used in the 86 movie. Try to wrap this burrito here back up. Set this to the side. Pick up my mess, because and this is the thing, like, you guys want to talk about being eco-friendly. This isn't eco-friendly. This crap here ends up in animals, gullets, and everything else. It ends up in the sea. Like, this isn't cool. Come back to paper on that. That's my opinion on that. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain that this is too small. And I mean, how's this? It's got this tiny hole on the side and this doesn't go in it. That's weird. You know, what is it? Here we go. Alright, cool. Not bad. Hand feel wise, he feels really good in hand. About that. A little bit of a situation. Okay, that's fine. I had to push that in a little bit. Yeah. Oh. Jeez. I need to kind of reset things up a little different around here. Anyway, he's cool. I actually don't mind him. Joints are pretty nice. I don't mind that at all. Very cool. Okay, kick himself in the face. Yes. This is what everybody wants Megatron to do, is kick himself in the face, right? As far as these go back. Yeah, he can high kick. Not bad. Can he hold this pose? Okay, cool. Right out of the box, he feels pretty good. I've had, like I said, a lot of iterations. I've actually had my hands on the Siege mold before. I did a custom of that. I never actually got around to reviewing it. But I have completely torn that toy apart, so I know what it's like. It's not bad. Head sculpt's very, very, very Megatron. I do like the head sculpt. They nailed it. Like that. I mean, I have to admit, they nailed what he looks like on screen. I know a lot of people were complaining about this here being kind of blue, but to be honest, that light gray, it looks right. The only thing I would like to see is maybe a little bit of red on the inside here, but that's not even in the animations. I think it's fine. But yeah, he's got his whole fusion cannon thing going on here. Blues compatibility, or pew pew, special effect. I don't know, blast effects. There. I watch M go too. I do have some blast effects, so yeah, works pretty well. I don't have huge ones. I only have the small ones, which is fine. He does a pretty good job of that. Not bad. It works. I know this is supposed to plug on his back, I think. So let's see. Okay, this bends. Very stiff, which is not bad. Apparently this plugs onto his back, so that way you've got that barrel portion sticking up where he looks like he turns into a pistol. I mean, he is a pistol. There's a joke for you. Yeah, he's got decent articulated fingers. Looks like he's got a set of 2 here. It's not bad. Like that. Does this in his hand? Will this actually fit in his hand? That's the question. That's the $1 billion question. Can you hold your own sword without it falling out? Yeah. Cool. Not bad. So yeah, you can definitely do the thing. Not bad. It's funny. Let's make him hold himself in his hand. Because sure, why not? You do have to pose the fingers out, though. I mean, he does have a good amount of articulation in these fingers, so that works pretty good. It's nice that you don't have to curl the fingers around it for him to actually, yeah. And the little tiny pew pew does have its compatibility there, so you can have him do that. So he can hold himself and shoot. Well, I could see if somebody actually repainting this in this Browning, so that way you can actually have him holding Browning. So if you always don't know who Browning is, Browning's from, I want to say Master Force. I might be wrong on that. I don't think he's Headmasters. I think he was in Master Force. But he's a iteration pistol dude. Now, since I got him here in his robot mode, because I'm not going to put him in his alt mode just yet, show you guys a couple little extras that I've got going on. Let's get rid of this. And I have a friend of mine that had sent me some extra bits. Get this out of his hand. There we go. Send me a mace. You guys probably saw me unbox this. I don't know if this is a masterpiece or a third party, but hey, fits perfect and you can hold it. So you can have 86 Megatron actually holding a mace. This guy's ball and chain. That's pretty great. Like that. Not bad. Works pretty well. You ready to like smack Starscream in the face or something? Because that's what Megatron does anyway. This fits really well in his hand. Very cool. He does not come with this, by the way. Another thing I got is another fusion cannon. This is actually 3D printed. I'm not really sure. I think this is actually from Larkin's Lair, because this is actually in pieces when you get it. But it is a 3D printed printed cannon. So I was just going to gift this to my buddy for letting me borrow this. Swap this over and put this bigger fusion cannon on. Doesn't quite fit completely down. I might have to trim that down a little bit, but hey, he does have a bigger fusion cannon now. I think people will like that better. By the way, this one is blast compatible too, which is cool. It does sit kind of high, so the post here probably just needs to be trimmed down a little bit. I'm thinking this is actually for the Siege Megatron. This actually fits pretty well. I mean, kind of gives you a bit of an idea how big it is. It's got the, it looks more like his gun. I don't know if this will actually fit in the other mode, so we'll find out. Anyway, let's go ahead and, here I am 20 minutes into the video. But, first things first, can I figure out how to do this without instructions? That's my biggest thing. Can I play with it without instructions? Because, there's lots of times I'm like, okay, well, how does this work? How does that work? I mean, I should be able to pick it up and play with it, right? It looks like his chest folds out, but see, I don't know. So I'm afraid I'm going to break something because I'm not really sure how that works. I do know his feet like accordion out like crazy, so. And he does have like toe articulation, which is nice. So, let's open that up. Okay, that's pretty simple. This looks like it flips around. Hey, look, I got the side of a tank already. That's pretty simple. Probably missed a step here somewhere. Let's see. Does this open up here? It looks like it opens up for a reason. Oh, okay. Because we got the front of the tank here that flips out, looks like. That closes like that. And this. Okay, so we got the back of the truck. Okay. Cool. I just figured that out. That wasn't too hard. My thing is how all this works. So, does this like just fold up underneath or something? Looks like it might do that. I know I got the instructions right over there. Now you guys are going to yell at me about it. That's okay. Because I'm trying to figure out things on my own. I like playing with toys and figuring them out. Because it's healthy. It helps your brain actually do something. Instead of, oh, I gotta look up a video for everything I do. Let's see here. Pull that out. See, the thing is, I sort of know how this thing works because I've watched MGo's review a long time ago about it. So, I mean, dude just turns into a tank. I mean, it's not going to be too difficult. Does this spin around or something? Probably. I'd be surprised if these got to do something. Yeah, these move out of the way. It's like they fold down like that. Okay. Probably shouldn't have done the legs like I did already. That's okay. Let's figure out arms. Let's see here. Looks like it. Because I see 2 pins here, so that means this has to open. Like that. And then opens like that. Okay, cool. Alright, so it looks like we gotta fold up the fist really good so we can actually fit into its little configuration here. And I guess we'll close that up. I guess that's one arm done. Does this collapse or anything? No? Didn't look like it does. Maybe it does something like this. I don't know. We'll figure that out here in a minute. Let me get his other arm done. By the way, he does have the red that carries all the way over, which is nice. I know you guys are big fans of, different versions of Megatron. This is my first crack at, like, like I said, this is a hand feel thing. I want to be able to play with the toy and figure it out. I shouldn't have to spend hours trying to figure it out either. It should be fairly straightforward and easy. Because these are retail. Retail toys normally don't have complex engineering to the point that you have to go crazy with it. Why is this fist not going in? Is it because I don't have it collapsed up enough? Very, very, very interesting. What is it? Okay, here we go. I'm just a derp. Hey, we're all derps here, right? Looks like this folds around like this. Let's do that, and then that. Just to get those up out of the way for now. Yeah, I'm just curious at how all this is gonna work. Does this do this or something? It's gotta do something like that. Okay. I just figured out something hilarious. Here we go. I don't know if you guys have ever watched, like, you know, Gundam or something, but Megatron is now a Gundam tank. It's just like this. Oh, okay, cool. I'm finding out how things unpeg by messing around playing. Oh, this is cracking me up. Oh, this is funny. Anyway. Yeah, that's kind of funny, actually. I like that. I like the idea that I can turn him into something else. Alright, so I had this popping loose a second ago. How did that all... Now it doesn't want to come loose. Okay, you know, put my finger in there. Oh, there we go. Alright, cool. Now it looks like that just flattens out. Oh, I'm assuming this is going to have to be removed. This probably plugs into the wall or something to make it longer. There we go. Pull his head up. At least I think his head pulls up. Oh, we got to sprawl out the back too, apparently. Something. Okay, I get it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Laser Optimus Prime I did. This looks like it's folded out. And this folds out again. Alright, here we go. I'm assuming this is going to be like the front of the tank or something here. Can't push your head in there yet because I have to move this out. I got to get the back to open up. Like I said, this is all hand fills type of thing here for me, so. But does it feel like it's going to move and do what it needs to do? That's the question. Alright, let's move these up out of the way like that. Is this supposed to flip out? I would think it flips out. Looks like it's catching. Am I actually going to have to look at the instruction manual? It shouldn't be that tough. This doesn't fold forward or anything. And it doesn't have any hooks. And this doesn't fold up. Alright, Megatron. This is hilarious. This is gonna be the longest video in the world. You guys are probably like screaming at me like, do it this way, don't do it this way, you're gonna break it. Oh, his arms raised up. Wait, what? Oh, the whole... Okay, I get it. I'm a derp. Told you I'm a derp. This whole thing undoes like this. Because it's on like this weird thing. Just like that. And then it flips up. And then you can push his head down. And then you close this up. I think. Yeah, just like that. See? 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 I figured out things. This is all supposed to turn into a turret. How the heck does this work? Because this is on like 3 different joints. I'm assuming this goes like this and probably somehow... Megatron? What the heck? Okay, I get it. This flips out even more. Okay, so yeah, this is the turret part. Okay, I get it now. And his arms turned into the turret. Oh, this is so funny. Yeah, this is an episode of Plasticon Struggles with Transformations. So sit back, enjoy. How many times I mess it up. Am I complaining? No, I'm not complaining. This is the wheel here, so this is obviously the bottom. So this is gonna have to like spin around or something. Oh wait, these spin like this, and this spins like this. Megatron is spinning this right around, baby. Okay, I get it. And these flip down. This goes here. I'm assuming these kind of help click it in place, right? 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 Yep. 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 And then that clicks there. This is probably going to be one of the most complicated ones I've done. You guys will have to bear with me here. See, the thing is, I don't know what the transformation is supposed to be like, so, you know, that's the whole point. The point is to have fun with it and figure it out on my own. Because if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right, as far as I'm concerned. Right, that plugs in like that. Okay, I see. Then this... Alright. That snaps like that. This snaps in just like so. Well, something like that. Why is this... Okay, I see what's going on here. It's all lining it up. That's the problem. I'm trying to get everything lined up. I have to admit, it's pretty ingenious how they took that animation model and turned it into this mess. This is killing me, man. This is killing me. How is this not going in? Is this supposed to extend or something? No. Maybe. Maybe I just don't have it out far enough. I don't have it out far enough. No. There it goes. Just like that. And then this little tab here is supposed to go in. There we go. See, I figure out things. I'm not completely ignorant yet. But yeah, I wanted to do a full unboxing and first-hand feel of this thing because I've never played with one, and I think it's a cool way of experiencing this, considering I've experienced probably every iteration of Megatron there is. I'm not really sure how these feet go, though. I'll have to figure that one out here in a minute. As soon as I get this plugged in. Is it the easiest transformation? No. I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's a lot to be. I don't know. Because this looks like this should sit down further, and it does, but it doesn't sit down any further. At least I can't tell if it does. When something has a billion steps, yeah, it looks like it does supposed to sit down further down. What the heck is going on with that? Weird. You guys are probably like, this is going to be an hour-long transformation video of you messing around with a toy that you could have easily just looked up the instructions on. You know, like I said, I like to experience things every now and then. Because experiencing something is part of the fun. And if you're not having fun with it, then you probably shouldn't get it, right? Seriously want to know why this doesn't line up the way it should. And I'll be honest with you, even G1 Megatron was a fiddly mess. I don't know if you guys have ever really messed with that toy, but the transformation on it is not the easiest. And us being kids, we would have broke it probably 20 times over. The kid out there that actually had the Megatron, that knew how to transform it, you know, mainly was the one that did it. Not a lot of us kids had the money for a Megatron back then, because they were expensive. They were not cheap. Even Optimus was up there. Alright, cool. I've kind of got that figured out. Let's move this out of the way and try to figure out this mess here in the back. Looks like these just fold up, or do I have it backward? No, because these have to tie into this, so. Okay. I see what's going on here. That collapses in just like that. And that collapses in just like that. So, kind of like Siege Megatron, he's got feet hanging off the back. It's kind of hard to avoid the feet situation, I think. It looks like these... Oh, interesting. Okay. You can ankle rocker it or something? Or do you flip it around? Or do you just not? Good grief. Plasticon struggling with transformation again. Woohoo! I don't know if you guys were tuned into this episode. This is an episode that, you know, you guys should be used to seeing me fiddle with things like this every now and then. Like, I don't know how the heck these back feet work. Like, to me, that's fine to me, because it kind of just continues the back of the tank, but I know I got that wrong. And as for these, this is a weird thing. Because this is supposed to be your turret piece. It's kind of funny, actually. This kind of stuff just cracks me up, how they've overcomplicated how Megatron could actually turn into a turret on top. Like, I don't understand why you guys had to overcomplicate this part. This part is kind of silly. Okay, I think that's how that goes. Those accordions again. Like that, I believe. And okay. And this does, okay. Maybe like that. Yeah, good grief. I'm assuming his fists go this direction. What the frack, man? See, this is why I don't get into Masterpiece, because this is almost Masterpiece level stuff, and I'm just not into Masterpiece. I just never really have been. This somehow is supposed to flip out and does something. Why does this flip out? I don't get it. Does this flip out so I can put a Diaclone dude? Wait. Yep, you can put a Diaclone dude there. I'm sure that does that for a reason. Because this looks like this just plugs into this to make this a longer barrel. Just like that. How the heck is this plugging? I know I've got this completely wrong. Okay, let's see here. I'm assuming these okay. It doesn't collapse in. Does that make me to collapse in? Or does it? Oh, you spin it around. Somebody's like, dude, you're spinning around, man. Yep. This is why I don't do Masterpiece level stuff. This is why you guys have never seen Masterpiece reviews on this channel. This is the whole reason right here. Because I don't do complex transformations that often, guys. I really don't. It's just, it's difficult for me, really. I mean, okay, it looks like these two plug in between this or something. How the heck does that work? Is there enough space for that? No? That doesn't seem right. Because in my eyes, you would just do this. Kind of like seeds make, you know, where you just put it between the two and then bam, there you go. Yeah. God. This is embarrassing. Look at that. Hey, it still spins around. I'm killing myself here. Killing me softly with this Megatron. Yes, I know, I just sung a horrible song. You're welcome. This seriously looks like it plugs down in here or something. I'm very confused on how this works. Okay, I think I figured that out. Alright, I can get this plugged down like it should. Okay, I see these two go. Duh. I know I've got these back legs wrong. I know I've got them wrong. They've got to be incorrect. They just don't feel correct. Alright. Oh, this is the longest transformation thing ever. Okay, I think I see why this does this, because you're supposed to fold this out or something. Was this can fit? This can actually fit over. Okay. Okay. I see what's going on here. Because you got these tabs that go. You guys probably didn't see any of that. I'm so sorry. You guys are probably like, this is the worst review ever. 5,000 thumbs down. No. There we go. This looks more like a tank now. I still can't figure out these back feet. That's the part I haven't been able to figure out. Hand feel wise, by the way, I haven't felt like I'm going to break it, so that's a big plus for me. Legs float in, there's accordion in. according to this, the feet just come out and flip in like that. Oh, duh. They just do that. And then these, I guess, close in. Okay. Alright. I smell what you're cooking there. That's fine. Trying to tab him together, by the way, is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm going to be honest with you. This whole tab connection thing here going on with the sides, I don't like that. Why couldn't you just put 3 or 5mm ports and then just make it so you just plug it all there? I'm trying to squeeze him out there so that. But hey, you know what? I got him. He's in tank mode. This is kind of irritating how that does that. I'm trying to raise it. But I mean, it's, you know, the 86 mold or model turned into a tank, and I personally don't mind it. Does have a wheel here, a couple wheels there, roll. Not bad. Well, I think this will look better in green. That's a good question. I don't know. It might. I'm not, like, against it or anything. I think it would look cool if it was green. I think it would look cool if it was purple and black color. It does have plenty of ports here to put things, so let's overload him real quick. I can put his little pew-pew cannon here, which is kind of appropriate because the original G2 had a cannon there. Let's put his laser sword over here. And since I've got the extra cannon, let's put the extra cannon up here, because, you know, he's really going to bring it to, you know, the Autobots, because that's what he's supposed to do. This keeps wanting to tilt sideways. It just needs to be sanded down here. Like I said, my buddy gave me that. And then we'll just plug this thing here in the side. We'll put it inside. This is what he's going to do. He's going to carry his ball and chain back here too. So why not? There's storage. You know what? Tanks have chains on. They always do. So why not? This is just not. It's not one to hold together very well here. It's probably my fault. I probably did something wrong. Knowing me. Hey, this is the first time I've ever done this, so this is a hand feel thing. I know this is a very, very long video. By the way, this looks like it's... Yep. It's compatible as well. So, you guys out there that use your little blast effects, there you go. By the way, this is a disclaimer. Please, for the love of God, guys, don't leave your blast effects in the toys, because this kind of plastic is rubber. This is not. They will fuse together. There's a chemical thing. If these things stay together too long, they will fuse together. If they do that, you've ruined your toy. There's no fixing it. It looks like it's melted. It looks like you hit it with like a lighter or something. It's not a lighter. It's this. But anyway, that ran aside. My opinion about this thing. I think it's cool. First time transforming it. A little difficult for me, but I'm not big into huge transformations. I personally think this thing having 50-something steps is nuts, but personally I think I kind of figured it out, more or less, without the instructions. It's proof that you can do it. I did have to look at the instructions for the arm flippy thing and for the feet, really. The rest of it's kind of self-explanatory. It's not bad. I know some people probably don't like all this gapping and such. I'm sure I probably don't have something like completely right there, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's cool. Would I recommend this? Yeah. If you guys out there that really want a Megatron, this is not bad. This is actually pretty good. I actually like the robot mode, so we're gonna. No, I'm not gonna put you guys through that. What I'm going to do is sign off, and I'll show you guys another crazy thing. And it's not going to be as insanely elaborate as this one. This one was nuts. This was the one I wanted to try to get out of the way the most, because this is a difficult transformation for me. Just trying to figure it out. It's fun, though. I like it. Anyway, this has been Plasticon. This has been another crazy review of good old 1986 Studio Series Megatron. And he's cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this little episode. I'll see you guys around. There'll plenty more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye.